All right, the first thing I want you to write down is success is less complicated than most people make it. Most people want to make success super complicated, and it's not complicated. It's actually much easier than most people make it. On page 38 of The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, here's what I want to share with you from what I was reading this morning in preparation for today's call. Reinventing the wheel every time is just plain exhausting. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, guys. It's already been created for you. It's called modeling. Model success in order to be success. And it leads to breakdowns and burnouts. On the other hand, I think you'll discover modeling will be very empowering. In fact, it may make things appear so simple, it feels like cheating. All right, so it's not cheating, it's just putting together the model. Think of it like this. If you're painting by the numbers, you simply, Diane, you'll like this, artist family, you simply are going to paint number one red, you're going to paint number two blue, you're going to paint, and so on. And before you know it, you've got this masterpiece in front of you. Now, is that cheating? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just following the model. You've heard me refer to it as it's the yellow brick road. If you get started on that yellow brick road and you just take one step at a time and you stay on the journey, you're eventually going to end up in Oz. The only way that you're not going to end up in Oz or the Emerald City, whatever it is, the only way you're not going to end up there is if you stop or if you take a detour. And if you stay on that journey and you just keep following the yellow brick road, you're going to end up at the desired destination. So this is your yellow brick road. All right, step one. Clarissa, your hand went back up. Making sure that I'm calling on you. I don't want to leave you hanging there. Okay, gone. All right.
No, that's me. I'm good.
Okay, step one, build your database. It's amazing to me, please write it down. It's amazing to me how many real estate agents that I talk to, and I ask them, so talk to me about your database. And these are agents who have been in the business for a while, a long time, successful agents. And I'll get that strange look like, what are you talking about? Or they'll show me their phone. This is my database. Or, oh, I've got an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, none of that counts. A database is a system. It's a tool that you use to communicate with everybody that you know, everybody who knows you, friends, family members, past clients. And there's a number of databases that are available in the real estate ecosystem, and which is the right one, whichever one you'll use. But build a database. So start out by putting everybody you know into your database. Make sure you're including names, address, phone number, email address, and then become a detective and collect as much information as you can. Now, this is not a one-on-one conversation where the very first time I speak to Clarissa, I'm like, okay, what's your email? What's your favorite restaurant? What movie? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite color? What's your dog's name? What's your cat's name? No, that would be weird. You're collecting information over time that you're putting into your database because this is where all of your information lives. Your business is your database. Your database is your business. Your business will be directly proportional to the size of your database. So if you want to build a big real estate business, build a big database. If you read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the number of contacts it takes in order to earn $1 million is 1,920. That's 1,920 people on a systematic drip campaign that you're communicating with several times a year systematically. And that will lead to $1 million in gross commissions, 1,920. Now you say, John, I don't know anybody. Okay, cool. Go to step number 2, feed it every day. Now, feed it every day simply means that you're adding people to your database systematically. If I were to speak with Lonnie, we're at a party. Hi, Lonnie, my name's John Dietz. I'm a real estate agent. I specialize in the local market. Just out of curiosity, where do you live? Are you from Coral Springs? Do you own a home? Did you have a great real estate agent? Would you work with that realtor again if you were to buy or sell another home? Don't ask them every single one of those questions. That would be weird. I'm just giving you different questions that are conversation starters. Ford works: family, occupation, recreation, dreams, as an outline if you don't know what to talk about. Now, before the conversation ends, I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. It's a special group. It's a club. It's not a list. People don't want to be a part of your list. They want to be in a group. They want to be in a community. So, Diane, I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. That simply means that I send them interesting information on the real estate market once a month, and I call every 3 or 4 months just to check in. Now, for those of you who have been working with me for years, exactly word for word what I've been teaching you, even that, the smile, all of it is part of the conversation. I'm smiling intentionally. This is not normal for me. What's normal for me is this. Lonnie, my name is John Dietz. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty, EXP, XYZ, RE/MAX, Coldwell Banker, wherever you're at, it doesn't matter. And I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. That simply means that I send them interesting information on the. Okay, you're like, John, stop it. That's creeping me out. Smile. You're more likable when you smile. Now, if Lonnie says, no, I don't want to be a part of that group, did I fail? The answer is no. Because Clarissa's at the same party or at the same networking event. Hey, Clarissa, my name's John Dietz. I'm a real estate agent with XYZ Real Estate Company. I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. That simply means that I send them interesting information on the real estate market once a month, and I call every 3 or 4 months just to check in. Would it be okay if I added you to that group? Now, I promise you that if you have that conversation with 10 people a day, 15 people a day, 20 people a day, you're going to get yeses. You're going to get more than 1 or 2. Now, listen to this. If you got 2 people that said yes every day and you work 50 weeks, 5 days a week, you've added 500 people to your database by the end of the year. So a year from now, I ask you, Lonnie, how's that database looking? You're like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I've got 500 people in my database. A year ago, I had 0. How'd you do that? Well, I added people to my database daily. In other words, I fed my database. So number 1, build a database. Number 2, feed it every day. Number 3, communicate with your database in a systematic way. Now, what does that mean? There are a number of drip campaigns that are available through Follow Up Boss, through KV Core, through Command, through whatever database you're using. Remember, what's the right database? Whichever one you'll use. And there's drip campaigns in there. It's plug and play. Oh my gosh, so much easier than when I started selling real estate 20 years ago. We actually had to create these things. And most of these databases will do most of the work for you. In other words, if you set it up to send emails and text messages, it'll do it for you automatically. Now, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to write handwritten notes. You're going to have to handle the phone calls because that involves you. Even letters and postcards can be set up to go out automatically if you hire the right service to do that for you. Now, I'm going to slow down for a moment because handwritten notes and phone calls are critically important to communicate with your database in a systematic way. One of the things that I learned from Joe Girard holds the world record for the most car sales by a single unit car salesperson in the world. I mean, he was selling like 20 cars a day. And he wrote 25 handwritten notes a day. 25 handwritten notes a day. That was his major form of lead generation. And what I'm going to ask you to do is set a standard for how many personal notes you're going to write every day. Start with 2. If you're writing 0, start with 2. Don't start with 25. You won't make it. Start with 2 and then build from there. And one of the craziest questions I get, and if you're thinking this question, you're probably going to get mad at me because you're like, well, it's not crazy. I was thinking that. Is what do I write? So if I have a conversation, I'm going to change my screen because I'm seeing the same three people. I want to see somebody new. Justin. If I write Justin a handwritten personal note, it's simply, hey, Justin, I enjoyed talking with you today. Thank you for taking time out of your day to chat with me. I enjoyed our conversation. If there's anything you need, I'm just a phone call away. Make it a great day, John. That's it. Now, personal note should not be branded. Your mom doesn't give you a Christmas card from Mom Inc. So personal note should not be branded. Don't put the name of your company on the card. Don't put your name branded on the card. It's a handwritten personal note. And you want to include your business card in there, that's fine. You don't have to. They know who you are. The outside of the envelope is hand addressed. If I'm sending Jason a personal note, I'm hand addressing the note to him. I'm putting my return address on there. It's coming from John Dietz at 3077 Northwest 123rd Avenue in Coral Springs. He knows who it's from. That's that crazy realtor guy that I spoke to a couple of days ago. Now he's sending me a personal note. They're huge. They're important. Talk to me.
I heard an interesting story that happened. As we know, Barbara Walters just passed away. And she told us this wonderful story about early on in her career, she would write personal notes to actors and actresses when they achieved a big award or would put in a movie and just say, hey, I saw the movie, it was great, or I love the award you got, congratulations. And she ended up being the one that they would call her to do the interview because she had taken the time to write the personal notes to them.
There you go. So powerful. So most of you know my favorite book ever is The Traveler's Gift, written by Andy Andrews, sitting right here on my desk as I'm speaking with you, right? And I write personal notes to Andy Andrews all the time because I want to be on his podcast, his Blue Plate Special podcast. So I send him handwritten personal notes. Now, has he responded yet and invited me to be on his podcast? No, but I'm going to keep sending him handwritten personal notes until he does. Handwritten personal notes are powerful. Now, the other part of communicate in a systematic way that is up to you and super important is phone calls. You're going to call everybody who's in your database once every quarter, once every 3 months. It's a care call. It's not a sales call. And if I'm calling Sarah, hey, Sarah, John Dietz, just reaching out to let you know I thought about you. And it's been a couple months since we spoke. I want to see, how are you doing? How's your family? Are you still working at blank accounting firm? If I had a referral for you, are you accepting new clients? And what's a great email address for me to send that referral to? Hey, by the way, I saw on Facebook that you and your family went on a cruise. I think you guys went to the Bahamas. Did you have a great time? What was your favorite part? I'm following forward. It's a care call. It's not a sales call. Now, before I go, Sarah, as you know, I'm a real estate agent. And most of my business, almost all of my business, is repeat and referral business from friends and family like you. And I'm just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? All right, now imagine for a moment, you've got 500 people in your database. You're talking with them once every 3 months and you're having that conversation with them. Statistically, we know two things. Approximately 6% of the US population who owns real estate moves every year. So 6% of 500 is 30. That's 30 potential direct sales because you communicated systematically. And all 500 know somebody who's going to buy or sell a home this year. So the referral potential is huge. It's only huge if you're having these conversations. And in coaching and training real estate agents for the last 7 years, one of the things I know about you guys is one of your biggest challenges is speaking to your database. It's not comfortable. You don't want to sound salesy. You don't want to sound desperate. My friends are going to think I'm desperate. And if I'm asking for business, I'm going to sound like a salesperson. It feels weird. It's uncomfortable. So it's painful. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Ask yourself this question: what's more painful, having these conversations or not being able to pay your bills? You're going to be more motivated by avoiding the greater pain. You need to ask yourself, if I don't do this, what happens? And if the answer to that question is failure, that's more painful than having the conversation. Elena, talk to me. You're on mute, girl.
Oops, sorry about that. I was saying that I've been communicating with my database regularly, but not necessarily through a phone call. I'm trying to find ways to communicate with whatever they prefer, whether it's text or Instagram or Facebook. A lot of people hang out there, so we just kind of keep up with each other there. So what would you recommend for somebody? Like, let's say I want to stick to this once a quarter, I want to call them now, but it's going to be kind of weird. Is it not going to be a little weird? Few years later, I never call them, and now I'm calling them and be like, hey.
Elena, have you ever had a friend call you up that you haven't spoken to in a while?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people kind of avoid phone calls these days, I feel.
No, so all I need is one time. Have you ever had a friend call you that you haven't spoken to in a while?
Yeah.
Did it feel weird? Were you happy to get the call?
It was weird, and I was like, what happened? The first were like, something happened? Well, why did you call? Or, do I need to be worried?
All right, Elena, I'm a friend, and we haven't spoken in maybe a couple of years. All right. I'm simply going to start the conversation with Elena. Hey, it's John Dietz. How are you doing? And it's been a while since we spoke, so I want to start by apologizing for not calling you more often. Mm-hmm. And the reason for my call is I simply want to reconnect with you. Want to see how you're doing, how your family is. Last time we spoke, you were working here. Are you still working there? If I had a referral for you, can I send you an email with that information? The first conversation is going to be the toughest conversation. The next one's going to be easier. In the first conversation, I'm not going to mention anything to you about selling real estate. I am simply going to reconnect with you. Now, if you haven't spoken with somebody for a long time and then you call them and you start talking real estate, it is going to be awkward. It is going to be weird. But just remember, the first conversation is the toughest conversation. Make it. The next one will be easier, I promise. And having these conversations with people over time will build relationships, and you will get referrals.
Would you leave a voicemail if they don't pick up?
100% every single time.
Just a voicemail, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And follow it up by a text message. That's fine too. And again, what to say? Hey, Elena, John Dietz, it's been a while since we spoke. Just looking to reconnect. Give me a call when you have time to chat.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. You can do this. I promise.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, start every day with prospecting-based lead generation. Start every day with prospecting-based lead generation. Prospecting-based is calling for sell-by owners. It's calling expired listings. It's making circle prospecting calls. And for a lot of you, again, this is going to be weird because you've been building your business through marketing and you've been successful. You've been running your business through repeat and referral business and you've been successful. The reason I'm telling you to start your day with prospecting-based lead generation is because in a shifting market, and we're in a shifting market, the agents who are making prospecting calls have a head start on everyone else. If you're making prospecting calls, you're going to know the market shifting before everyone else. and you're going to be ahead of the curve when it comes to picking up those expired listing opportunities. Start every day with making prospecting-based lead generation calls. Now, again, if you're massively successful and you're not currently prospecting, I'm fine if you want to ignore my advice. That's fine. Just write it down and maybe come back to it later on if you see things are slowing down and you're looking for a way to ramp up your business. Give it a try. Start making prospecting calls first thing in the morning and build a habit of lead generating, starting with prospecting. All right, number 5. Let me go back to number 4 again. Raise your standards, double down, and hit your standards. One of the reasons agents don't hit their goals is because they don't have a goal. They can't see a goal. You can't hit a goal you can't see. You can't hit a goal you don't have. Raise your standard. If your standard is nothing, well, that's a standard. Start by having 5 conversations a day. If you're currently having 5, make it 10. If you're currently having 10 real estate conversations a day, make it 20. If it's 20, make it 40. Whatever the number needs to be for you to hit your goals, that's your standard. Remember, success is a choice, so is failure. So you either choose to succeed or you choose to fail. And the way you choose to succeed is by hitting your standards. The way you choose to fail is by settling for less than your standards. All right, number 5, meet with buyers and sellers every day. Be a detective. Ask great questions. Consult your way to success. Don't sell and tell your way to success. Find somebody every single day that's thinking of buying a home or selling a home and meet with them. Whether they're thinking about buying or selling 30 days from now, 60 days from now, or a year from now doesn't matter, because you're looking for opportunity, period, not just opportunity right now. And again, if you work 50 weeks, 5 days a week, that's 250 potential buyers and sellers that you're meeting with that are now in follow-up. And if only 20% of them hired you, that's 50 closed sales. 50 closed sales because you met with someone every day who's thinking about buying or selling. Number 6. Follow up systematically and stay in curiosity. Stay in curiosity means ask questions and don't judge away opportunity. If somebody says they're not going to buy or sell, you don't stop calling. You finish. I've changed my mind. I'm not selling. Cool. Talk to you in a couple months or talk to you next month. I want to stay in touch with them because I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. That simply means I send interesting information on the real estate market once a month. And I call every 3 or 4 months just to check in. Too many of you are not calling. You stop calling when people tell you, I'm not interested. Ignore rejection. Reject rejection. Follow up systematically forever and stay in curiosity and stay out of judgment. All right, I've got 9 a.m. and I've got another call that started 15 seconds ago that I'm late for. And this is recorded. I will be posting this to Facebook, to YouTube. You can go back and watch it. We're going to pick up tomorrow and finish the 10-step process to build a successful real estate business. I hope that you guys found value in this today. I know we moved really, really quickly, and success is simple, but making it complicated. All right, everybody, make it a great day. For those of you in Rainmaker Plus, I'll see you in 15 seconds. Make it a great day, everybody. All right. Make it a great day.
John.
My pleasure. Hey, Alan. Great seeing your face.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.